All right. Hi there, Wade Sellers here, and this is the last video on functions, and we're going to talk about naming your parameters with labels, okay? This is a really nice way to make your code truly read well and you understand the inputs that you're putting in a little better. So I have an example here. Once again, if you want to catch up, you hit pause. I'm in the Swift Playgrounds app, in a new Swift UI app, and I have some starter code here so you can make yours look exactly like mine and then follow along if you like. If you're on the iPad, same thing. You'll be in an app. You just don't want to be in Xcode and you just don't want to be in a basic Playgrounds file because we want the app preview so we can see what's going on here, okay? So in my example, there is a Newton's physics law for force. So force is, let me just go down here. Force is what? Force equal, oh, I should do a comment. Force equals, what is it? Acceleration times mass. Do you know what that one? So acceleration times mass. Now, if you wanted to get the acceleration, what you would, if you had the force and the mass and you wanted the acceleration, then you would simply divide force by the mass, okay? Now, if you look in here, I have a function that's calculating the acceleration. I have F, what, for force, I guess. It's a float value, and M, I guess, for mass, and a float value, and it returns force divided by mass as a float. In the body here, let acceleration equal, I call that function, and I'm using F and M. And this doesn't read very well. It's confusing a little bit. If you didn't know what was going on, you'd have to go down and kind of like understand what's going on. There's no description. Labels help you make your code read better. So what you can do here is instead of just having this F, you can do a label in front of it. And all you have to do is just type in what the label will be. Force. And then here I would have mass. And I've just now set labels to force and mass, okay? And what's really cool about this is if I just comment this out, let's rewrite this line. Now that I have labels in there, watch what happens when I get to the point where I start to autocomplete the function call, okay? So let's do let acceleration equal, now watch this, if I start doing calculate, notice now that it says force and mass, and when I hit enter, you'll see that it's force and mass. It uses the labels to help me out. So I can do 10.0 for just the sake of an easy example, and 2.0, sake of an easy example. And now the text is printing out the force is, or I'm sorry, the acceleration is, and then it's the acceleration value right there. So you see the acceleration is 5.0000 because it's a float. So this is a really cool way to be able to make your code actually read nicely while you are coding. So when you call the function, you will get instructions on what values are what, okay? Now just something else that you should know here is if you want to make your code a little harder to read and you don't want any labels at all, you don't even want the F, instead of doing a label, you can actually do an underscore. And I'll do an underscore for mass as well, okay? Now watch what happens when I write this function out, okay? Or when I call the function. I'll do let acceleration, if I can type acceleration, equal, now watch what happens. Calculate, and now notice it's like underscore F and M. Watch what happens when I hit return. It's gonna take away the entire value. So now I would have to do like 10.0 and 2.0, and this will still work. But now look at your code. It's like calculate acceleration 10.0, 2.0. We don't even know what that is. But sometimes this will be handy if you don't really need the labels and you don't need any of the parameters. You just want to drop a number in there and call it done. So this is just a little way to make your code read better by assigning labels to your parameters in your function. So that's functions in a nutshell. Go back and watch these videos, play around, experiment with functions, and start using them in your Swift UI apps. I'm Wade, and I'll see you in the next video set. Bye.